My bad. All right. Oh, we gonna transition into that because we talk about greatness and then greatness now, bro. The Odyssey. Nah, bro. I'm telling you right now, the Odyssey is one of the greatest films I've ever seen in my life. I know some bias, it just came out. Nah, bro. And the more I hear about the making of it, the more I'm like mind blown. Before I get into anything, I just found out that the scene in the Odyssey where there's a fucking Cyclops, they actually had a big motherfucking puppet made for the Cyclops. So I can't imagine being an actor in that scene in the fucking cave, and there's a big ass puppet fucking Cyclops that they're using for the motion so that they CGI it over it. So you, as an actor, that must have been so dope to be, you know, because you get to like put yourself in that moment. Look, bruh, I didn't even know what to expect. And the homies know when it comes, even though this doesn't take place in the middle, in the 1800s, or like the middle, the medieval age. I hate stuff with the medieval. I don't know why. I don't know what happened in my past life in the Middle Ages, but I don't fuck with that time frame. Anyways, right? So this takes place, or this story is from, you know, whatever, the thousands of years ago, right? And I love, and this, I guess it revolves around the story of Troy, right? Where, like, you know, the Trojan horse, and like people were hiding in the Trojan horse. They, you know, they used, so apparently they brought it as a gift. They took it inside the kingdom. Then motherfuckers jumped out the horse, killed everybody, and then let everybody. It's wild shit. Now it's interesting, right? Because I've heard that story before, whatever been mentioned, but I like that it's not about that. And maybe I don't know if the story is set up this way as well, but I love that it's showing what happens after the fact, right? And like, it's almost like the movies about karma in a weird way. So I'll tell you, this is my interpretation, right? But let me tell, like, all right, so I'm going in blind because I really don't know too much about it, right? Just, okay, Tom Holland's in it, you know, shit, I love Spider-Man, bruh. Batman's in that bitch, Robert Pattinson, and you got Matt Damon born. I'm like, all right, these are some great actors. Goddamn, Lupe Nyong'o's playing. I love that they made Helena Troy a beautiful black woman. I shout out to the director, for Christopher Nolan, for that. Because I know there's some racist people like, she's supposed to be blonde and blue. No, first of all, it's a myth. Because Helena Troy's mom is a swan, okay? A goddamn swan. It's not a real fucking story. This is a story, not a fucking. It's not history. That's how people do with. I ain't even gonna do it. But you know what I want to talk about. That people do the same shit with other stuff. So I love. Oh man, the casting was fire. So boom, right when the movie first opened up, I the first 10 minutes kind of felt a little fast to me. I ain't even gonna hold you. Like, it felt like it was kind of. But once it got the ball rolling, nah, cause one, you got Tom Holland character. He the heir to the throne, but he too young and he's still not like all the way developed and shit yet to be a king, right? Then the mama, she been holding it. Man, I need a woman like Odysseus' wife. She held him down for 20 years. I don't know. She probably was doing some bullshit around. I don't know what's going on. But she love her man. You know what I'm saying? If a woman don't love me like that, we not supposed to be together. You better love me like how Odysseus' wife loved that motherfucker. Because she really loved that man. She was holding the kingdom down. You have all these people coming from different places. They trying to knock boots with, or trying to marry shorty. So they could take the kingdom over and have them for themselves and this, that, and the third. And she was holding it down for years, right? Then, oh man, I ain't gonna lie. Robert Pattinson's character, I hate him, bruh. Robert Pattinson is a great Batman, but that character he played, that slime ball, bruh, fuck him, bruh. I ain't. It's been a minute since I hate someone on the screen, and I was like, you a piece of shit. He over here like trying to flirt with Tom Holland mama, riding bro face and all this type of shit like that. And oh man, that shit was crazy. I ain't like how they was treating John Leguizamo's character either. He was the blind dude. He was like teaching Tom Holland, you gotta fight better. Whoa, in the beginning. And then they was kicking the dude's dog, all type. They was being foul, bruh. But I ain't gonna lie, who steals the show for me though? Matt Damon, bruh. Cause he was a real leader, bruh. And the whole time he just trying to make sure his crew's straight at the detriment of himself. That is a leader. There's a difference between a leader and a boss. A boss tell you to do shit. Hey, y'all do this for me, do this for me, do this. You don't do nothing. You sit there and get fat. A leader, he be in the front lines making sure, hey, no, we gonna be straight. And I'm gonna make sure I spearhead this shit. So if anything happen, I'm gonna take the, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take the arrows first before y'all. That's a motherfucking leader. And the crazy part is he was trying to look out for all his crew the whole time, but they hold. And man, but it's just so much. It's so much. Damn, you know what? Maybe I would talk. Well, now next week is out. Next week is about Spider-Man. Next week is about motherfucking Spider-Man, bruh. Next week is about Spider-Man. Fuck is you talking about? The whole episode gonna be about Spider-Man Brand New Day. As a matter of fact, episode 20 will be Spider-Man Brand New Day Part 2. But man, it was so, oh my god, the Odyssey was so good, bro. It got to the point, I know I'm skipping ahead, I'll jump back and forth a little bit. I was in the theater, right? Because I watched it on Wednesday, was my day off, and I probably watched like the 4 o'clock showing, and there's probably 20 people in the theater. I always sit in the same seat. I sit on row D, pause, seat 10. So I'm in the middle, and I'm close so I can see the screen, and I'm right in the middle. That's my favorite seat in the theater, right? So when it got to the last 30 minutes, bruh, I was yelling at the screen, get him! You're Puerto Rico, bruh. I heard people laughing behind me because I was really into it, bruh. And the last 3 times I've been to the theaters, I always fall asleep like toward the end, right? Mind you, I was smoking the shit back then too. So like I this time, you know, I still, like I said, I'm not a real drinker, but in the theater, there's this thing called a mojito. I get a coconut mojito, and in the theaters in Puerto Rico rock. Carib Cinemas is lit because they got the little shit where they got like a bar and you could order like food. Not just, now I'm not talking about like the, you know how they got the regular theater shit. I'm talking about like they actually have like you order fucking a quesadilla or a hamburger, like a Puerto Rican hamburger or fucking chicken wings or whatever the case would be, and they'll bring it to you while you're fucking in the theater and shit like that. So for me, that's ill. I go to, you know, before the movie start, I go order my stuff, get my little mojito, vibe, whatever the case may be. So the funny part is, right, and I guess because I haven't been smoking, the shit hit me a little more than I thought. So bruh, I was so into the movie, I was dead tired, but I couldn't get my eyes off the screen. And at one point, the fucking electricity went out in the fucking theater. And you know what? It went out on a part where when they came out to the when they brought the Trojan horse inside of the of Troy's kingdom or whatever the case may be, right? And they had just Matt Damon had just roped down from the fucking he was on some Metal Gear Solid shit. He came down the rope, he cut Buddy head. They was doing some fucking tactical shit. All the lights went out. And when all the fucking lights went out, goddamn someone walked in from the theater like, hey guys, just wait 5 minutes, and if not, then whatever. 5 minutes passed by. The guy came back and said, hey guys, you guys should just get a refund for your thing, and we'll, you know, we compensate you for another time. So whatever, we go wait in this line. We waited in the line for like 10. It's a long ass line, so I'm in that bitch for like 10 minutes. The lights come back on. Then the one of the ladies like, hey guys, if you want to keep watching your movie, then y'all could just go back. Boy, I ran to that fucking seat so quick because I thought I didn't want to miss what was going on. That was kind of funny, I'm not gonna lie. And but man, bro, I don't even know where to start, bro. The visuals was great. I actually heard that the score was made, like Ludwig, which is the dude from Sinners, and man, he go crazy, bro, with the fucking with the audio. He actually he made the score using instruments that were made at that time. And some of the instruments don't exist or they don't have them, so they had to kind of recreate it, which is crazy. Can you imagine? That's your assignment. Like, all right, look, we want you to do the score, and we want you to use the instruments that were used at that time. Oh, but by the way, they don't exist, so we're gonna have to make them. So they had to go study and do all this type of shit to recreate. Like, you know, that's tying this to Kendrick, right? When I heard how they made To Pimp a Butterfly and how a lot of that was like they actually had like instruments and like they wasn't, you know, me at my low level, I'm gonna be using like splice and shit and like, you know, getting fucking splits from different shit or whatever, putting my little mix together, but actually making goddamn like actually using instruments and put, it's a different thing. You feel it, right? So the fact that they used real instruments and recreated instruments that were probably used at that time, it's crazy. And this bitch was filmed in IMAX, and the technology has gotten so advanced that they, because apparently when you film on IMAX, you can't really capture audio because the fucking camera is so loud. So Christopher Nolan did some shit, so that they created like this box thing to cover the IMAX camera, so that the sound, like, you can't hear the fucking the actual camera. So this is like the first time that you on IMAX that you get like close up shots and you can hear dialogue without it being drowned out by the fucking noise of the camera. So like in all types of levels, like I haven't even got to like the story yet, where I kind of got to the story, but in all types of levels, this shit has been phenomenal, bruh. Like completely phenomenal. So I'm saying that I was blown away in that theater experience, bruh. Cause like, and everything was like real locations. I'm sure they did say that there was some like legendary set that they had in like California or something like that, like studio something where they filmed like, what was it? Not Interstellar. Like some, like The Wizard of Oz and like some prestige fucking like films and shit like that. But a lot of that movie was filmed on like, and these, like, like when you see 1,000 people on screen, it's really 1,000 people on screen. When you see people coming out the ground, it's really people that are buried with straws in their fucking mouth so they could breathe coming out the fucking ground. Like, again, the Cyclops. You have a big ass puppet Cyclops that they're using so that the actors could act off the Cyclops and they could CGI around it. Like, they really went out their way. Like, when they're on sea, they're really in fucking sea. Like, they went out their way to make the movie great. Like, and to film it in a way to where, like, it felt like you were there, right? One of my favorite... All right, so this, it's ill, right? During the beginning of the movie, like a lot of the movie, right? The first portion, the movie feels really grounded, right? So that scene when the Cyclops pops out, it caught me by surprise because I didn't realize this was like a fucking, like a mythology fucking thing, right? Like I kind of knew, but I kind of didn't, right? So when the Cyclops part happens, it catches you off guard because the whole movie's been grounded as fuck up until this point, right? It's kind of like, this is a weird comparison, but one of my favorite TV shows of all time is Arrow. So Arrow season 1 is very grounded, right? Like it's nothing is like super out of the ordinary or whatever. But if you jump to season 3, then you got like the Lazarus Pit and fucking motherfuckers got superpowers, the Flash and all type of shit. They kind of like, all right, let's progress into like the crazy shit. So when the Cyclops comes out, it felt like it came out of nowhere. I did not expect that. Like, they go into a cave, they're like, oh, we found some food, whatever, because I think they stopped on the island to get food because this is after they're trying to get back home, right? And I like that the majority of the movie is showing the perspective of the crew trying to get back home, and like they kept mentioning during the movie Zeus's law, and something that I thought was like really dope. All right, so y'all know I'm into comedic spirituality, right? And in comedics, they call it comedic science, for sure, whatever. You could kind of take it for whatever it is. But in comedic spirituality, they have these things called netters that are, you could call it a deity, but it's not different gods. They're aspects of God, right? So when there's like talking about Zeus or Poseidon or whatever, like they was naming these different gods. Obviously the Greek gods were directly inspired by Kemetic gods, right? Because if Greece was created after Egypt, so, or Kemet. So there will be a parallel if you look at how it's different, but you could see where one comes from the other. Because if you look in Kemetic doctrine, you have Heru, you have Het Heru, you have Sebek, you have fucking Asar, Aset, fucking what's bro the not Anubis, but Ampu. That's the real name, not Anubis. But right, and then in Kemetic spirituality, there's like there's for every male deity, there's a feminine deity and whatever, right? So in Greek mythology, it's a similar thing where they have the water god, the air god, whatever. But when I'm hearing them talk about it, I'm looking at it from that mind of the Kemetic, like the Kemetic thought, right? Of like, oh, these are different aspects of God. You just disrespected nature, so nature's gonna disrespect you back. So there's a part where spoiler, there's a part where like they get to escape the Cyclops, but Matt Damon's character looks back and he just hits the Cyclops like with malice. It wasn't protecting myself and we escaped. He hit him when he didn't have to attack him, right? But he did it off of like revenge. And when he did that as the Cyclops was saying Poseidon, like he was praying to his god or some shit like that, or to an aspect of nature. So when he did that, nature started fucking with him back. Like, bro, why would you do that to the Cyclops? Did you hear him speaking to Poseidon or calling Poseidon's name? And he's like, yeah, but he did. But he what he said? Some shit. He's like, oh, but he said, but he killed a lot of our crew. But no, you hit him in spite. You didn't hit him in justice or some shit like that. So once they got on the boat and you started seeing how the fucking weather started fucking with them, I was like, oh, that's kind of ill. That's an ill metaphor. I understood it in a deeper level, if that makes sense, or at least from my POV. I don't know if that even makes sense, but that's how I interpreted it, or whatever the case may be. But when they kept going to different bro, and then they went to this other island where they was looking for food, and there was this lady that they ran up on her, and she was scared. She's like, oh my god, I know. She's like, all right, well, I'll feed y'all. She fed all the fucking men, and then she turned all them dudes into pigs, and she was molding. Oh, what a yo, that was such a freaky ass scene. I don't even know. Man, I really want to talk about this with Cam, bro, because I really want to know his perspective, bro. But that was one of the greatest films I ever seen, bro. But I'm going to fast forward a little bit. I think I'll talk about it a little more next episode, because next episode is going to be about Brand New Day. It's going to be a little movie-centric, and I think that would be ill. And my aunt and my uncle over here, and they leave tomorrow morning, so I want to spend some time with them. She literally was on the chat talking about I could name 3 songs for the documentary. But fuck, bruh. Fuck. So anyways, man, but all right, so at the end, right? Because remember, the dad, Matt Damon's been gone for years, bruh. And he's talking to they keep fast forwarding to this part with his woman, but he doesn't realize how long he's been gone. And he's been eating this lotus flower. So he's been fucking high for years, bruh. Like his fucking mind's been gone. He's like, what? I've been gone for how much? How long? So his son done grown up and all type of shit. Like, oh, he been gone, and his kingdom's about to get fucked over. And then Robert Pattinson, he's trying to marry Tom Holland's mama, but Robert Pattinson also fucking on some of the on the mom's assistant, and he plotted like, yeah, we go get the kingdom, and he over here fucking on the other girl, right? And Tom Holland, he left to go find his dad. Right, cause they trying to, and then when they find out that Tom Holland left, Robert Pattinson's like, all right, send his men. We gotta go kill him. Man, fuck Robert Pattinson, man. Nah, I'm not playing, cause when the Batman 2 drop, I'm definitely buying that. But I mean, watching that goddamn movie, and I know he'll win me back over. But right now, I don't fuck with Robert Pattinson, bro. Fucking slime ball. But that last scene where the dad come back, oh man, that shit kind of had me in tears, bro. Yo, soft ass, using tears. Yes, bruh. That shit was emotional as fuck. Tom Holland, the whole movie, he don't even remember his dad. But the moment he runs into him, because he doesn't say that he's his dad, but he knows, right? And he's like, yeah, your dad's alive. I worked with your dad. This, that, and the third, whatever the case may be. And he's looking at him. His eyes are getting teary. Like Tom Holland's eyes, he's such a good fucking actor, bruh. His eyes are getting teary. They're talking to Matt Damon and shit like that. And then that other scene where he gets to speak to his wife. And what, man, the ending is dope. The ending is dope. I'm glad. I like me a good ending. I don't like no bad ending. All right. I mean, I depends on the Gundam Wing Blood Orphan. Bad ending. I mean, amazing ending. Dark, but one of the greatest endings I've ever seen in any anime ever. That's a whole different conversation. But there's some exceptions to that I love, like a really like dark ending. But I thought they was gonna kill him off, and I like that that he survived. But anyways, there's a scene where because he comes back to the kingdom, but he didn't come like, oh, it's me. He kind of came back because he learned from a mistake that happened with the other dude, like the main there was a main leader that he was the one that was really the person who was the front runner of them going into Troy and shit like that. He ended up getting killed by his wife because he sacrificed a child, and she held that fucking grudge the whole time. So the moment he came back from war and he got all comfortable and stuff like that, she murdered that nigga, bro. She yo, I can't imagine. It's nothing worse than a woman scorn. And she held that, like, I know she probably like, you sacrifice our child. I bet. Wait till you come back, I'm gonna be all, oh, I'm finna act like I murdered him. Anyways, so he's like, oh, I can't come back all loud because then they're gonna turn on me. So he acted like he was a fucking like a beggar or some shit like that. So he sits down. Ooh, that scene too. I got emotional. I'm like, man, like I said, I need a woman to love me like Odysseus' goddamn wife, bruh. Odysseus had before he left, she gave him a gold pin of Athena, and Athena is like a goddess that's played by Zendaya. Zendaya did a good job, which is ill because Zendaya's character or his depiction of Athena is based on a girl that was sacrificed, and that's the moment he knew, oh, this shit hit, like we just brought the dark ages to ourselves, because he witnessed a young child get murdered while she was begging for her life. And that scene was kind of crazy where they chop off, it shows that it shows that they're about to kill Zendaya, and then it jump cuts to like a statue of Athena's head getting cut off, right? So because they don't show you her head get cut off, they show Athena's head get cut off. And then throughout the rest of the movie, every time he sees Athena or vision of Athena, it looks like the girl that was murdered. But they don't show you that till later in the film, so that was interesting when I seen that. Oh, my bad. I know I'm jumping over the place. One of my favorite music cues in the beginning, right? When they show you Matt Damon's character for the first time, he's hunting. Before he kills his prey, he with his bow, he'll make a noise with the bow. He gives the prey a chance to know that he's about to kill him, right? Because he doesn't. He said it's you can't do that. You don't kill without honor. So he'll make the noise, let the chance for the prey to run, and then he'll fucking hunt or whatever, right? Every time he does that, the noise with the bow, Ludwig's fucking audio shit, you hear the thum, like it's a music cue. So there's a part at the very end, right? Because his bow, I guess, is like one of the strongest bows or whatever, and you gotta like press that shit down and put the fucking wire in so you could use it. And apparently only Odysseus, Matt Damon's character, he's the only person that had the strength to do that. So at the end, when because they plotted it. All right, so let me my bad, jumping back and forth. Bear with me, right? So that scene where he comes back as a beggar and his wife is like behind the door, like a clear door type shit or whatever. He's sitting down. He's talking to her, right? She knows it's him, but he can't point it out, and vice versa. So he's telling her like, yeah, your husband. He's pretty much saying, hey, this is me, right? He kept the gold pin, this, that, and the third. She get all emotional and shit like that. And this is right before like the big battle's gonna start or whatever. He's like, so whatever. That's when they do the plot. Like, all right, take all the weapons away from everybody. Tonight we're gonna find out who's gonna be the king, right? Because he's like, go find someone to marry. So the person that's gonna be king is a person that could stretch the bow down, put the string in, and then they have to shoot an arrow through all these like fucking axes or whatever. So, they got all the fucking people all these pieces of shit that's trying to take over the kingdom in one room. They took all the weapons away because everyone's just trying to do this little bullshit, right? So a bunch of people try it, they can't do it. Motherfuckers ain't strong enough. They don't want to give it to Robert Pattinson. Then nah, I'll wait till last because he feel like he gonna be the person to do it. So then all of a sudden, Matt Damon's character, again disguised as a beggar, he's like, I'll let me try it. And they're laughing at him like, you don't know what you're doing. How's a beggar gonna be? Man, when he sit down, he looking at the shit. He goes, and put the string in, and then when he goes, boom, like he didn't. This is before he puts the arrow. He plucks the bow, and then the music cue comes in. That shit, you just knew this last act about to be crazy, bruh. This last act about to go insane. So, bruh, he grabs the arrow, shoots it, hits the target, and then like kind of takes off his hoodie. And bruh, that is on. It's motherfucking on. He in that bitch, he whooping everybody ass, bruh. That man was in that bitch like goddamn. What's a good example, bruh? I don't know, bruh. It's like you ever play like Assassin's Creed or some shit like that? He would be in everybody ass. Hit your ass with a bow. Hit your ass with a bow. Hit your ass with a bow. Oh, what? Bop. Whack his ass with a stick. Then this ugly ass dude, one of these little slime balls, ran upstairs and he was trying to to where the weapons room was at, and then he trying to not. He got locked inside, right? So he's like, all right, fuck it. I can't bring the weapons down. I'm gonna drop them shits down to the second floor. So he makes a hole on the fucking on the roof, and he starts dropping weapons down so people could grab them shits. You think Odysseus gives a fuck? That man still beating everybody ass. Weapons, no weapons, don't matter. And I ain't gonna lie. At that point in the movie, that's when I was yelling like, yo, get him. Cause bruh, you've been invested. You've seen everything this man went through to come back to his wife and his child. Years, bruh. Man been drugged up. You know, he seen his whole crew die. Like all type of shit. He came back and then he looking like, oh, y'all was all up in my crib trying to fuck on my wife, trying to kill my son. Oh yeah, bet. All y'all finna get it. So that moment where he whooping on everybody, you happy as fuck. I ain't gonna lie. When I thought they would kill him, I'm like, nah, bro. Come on, he did all that. Y'all gotta kill the man, bro. But my dog survived, though. My motherfucking dog survived, bro. But man, bro, that shit was intense, bro. One of the greatest movies I've ever seen, bro.